So you want to figure out how to find the average velocity of an object given a specific time. So we'll be using this equation here. The deck of a bridge is suspended 255 feet above a river. If a pebble falls off the side of a bridge, the height in feet of the pebble above the water surface after t seconds is given by y equals 255 minus 16t squared. To do part A, we're going to find the average velocity of the pebble for the time period beginning when time equals 2 and lasting the following amount of time. Starting off with the first equation, the first thing that you want to note is that there is an equation given over here in the top right, and you're going to be using this to plug in time equals 2. Time equals 2 is going to represent your first time variable, so we're going to do time 1 is equal to 2, and when plugged into the equation, this is what you get. However, obviously in these questions they're asking for different time ranges following the amount of time, which is 2. So we're going to represent 0.1 as t2, but we're not going to write out 0.1, we're going to write 2 plus 0.1, and it's going to be 2.1 because we want to know the following amount of time. So we're not just going to calculate 0.1, we're going to calculate 2.1. And we're going to plug 2.1 into that same equation. And thereby we've had our t1, t2, and then over here is going to be our y1 and y2. And so the reason why I want you guys to do this equation is because we're eventually going to be using the formula y2 minus y1 over t2 minus t1 is equals to the average velocity. So after entering these in calculations, I'll do them with you. 200 equal to 191 for t1 and y1 and 184.44 t2 or y2. So now that we know these values, we can plug these things into the equation. So, or this is y1, y2, sorry. Okay, so 184.44 minus 191 over 2.1 minus 2. And I'll erase this to not confuse you guys. That is the equivalent of negative 65.6 feet per second, which is our answer. So if you're confused, just remember the formula y2 minus y1 over t2 minus t1. And to get these values of y2 and y1, because we already were given the values of t, you use this formula y equals. Notice how it says y equals, so it's kind of giving you that hint. And then to solve part B, you don't actually have to do any math to solve part B. Notice how it says estimate the instantaneous velocity of the pebble after 2 seconds. So once you do all of this math, you're going to get negative 65.6, and then for this one you're going to get negative 64.8. For this one you're going to get negative 64.14. Obviously repeating the same strategy that we were using earlier. And you'll notice that the majority say negative 64. Right, I mean, we do have a negative 65.6, but we also have negative 64.14. Since this question is about estimations, we're just going to assume that it's negative 64 feet per second, and that is the answer. You do not have to show your work for this. Just look at what is the majority, and then assume, and that's how you find your answer for part B. So that is how you do it.